Let's jump forward a little bit.
Hmm.
When did you get your first like gig?
That was in 2022,
Okay.
fall 2022.
And
Yes,
you
it
started
was.
school when?
2018.
Jesus Christ, I'm old. Hey, God. God, I'm old. What the?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm still fresh on the block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it was 2022, and I remember I was really excited because rewind back to like so COVID time was my sophomore year, like the
Okay.
second half of my sophomore year. And I was so stressed because I was, minding my business, doing my assignments.
Mhm.
And, like most CS majors, we go on Reddit, right? And so I was going on Reddit and people are talking about, oh, I got this internship, I got this job, I got this final offer. And I was sitting there, I was like, what am I doing? Like, what's going on? Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember being at my desk in my room and having a little meltdown because I was like, what are you gonna do? How will like you're not gonna have nothing by the time you're gonna graduate? Like,
Yeah,
obviously catastrophizing a little bit, but
yeah.
in my head I was like, oh, I gotta fix this, right? Um, Long story short, I didn't end up getting internship. It was like a solutions architecture internship, which I
Okay.
learned a lot. It was really interesting.
Are you allowed to say which company or?
Oh, yeah, it was Cox Enterprises.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
okay,
great.
okay.
I enjoyed it. I also, my mentor slash manager, Dame Bambury, awesome. Like it
Nice.
taught me so much again about like personal branding, like all these things, like presence. Like
Yeah,
it was amazing.
nice.
And I remember too because he was like, at the end of the day, the your programming skills, these are not the issue. These are things that you can always develop.
Right,
But
right,
one thing that people severely underestimate that you really need in this industry, if you want to progress, is these soft skills, is the self branding,
yep,
personal branding, motivation.
yep,
Excuse me. What's the word? Yeah, personal branding, marketing, these things.
yep.
Because it's like, even if you're not trying to be like a viral
Right,
person or anything like on the outside, you
right,
still need to build a professional brand within
right,
yourself. So whether that's within your company or people that you network in, they know you as this person
right,
who's good at this thing and they know that they can come to you for this thing no matter what, right?
right.
So you really taught me the value of that as well. So I learned a lot from that internship.
Nice, nice.
And then, yeah, so I work full time now as a
Okay.
software engineer. Fast forward to 2025 now. Sheesh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice.
time flies. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think one key component, at least I got out of that, is that for networking, like that,
Hmm.
that to me is like, um, we talk about it a lot, but I think it's undersold or undervalued in terms of
Absolutely.
like how important it is to network, not only through school, but also whether you're doing boot camp, even on the job, like networking with other individuals, like, trying to move up that corporate ladder. I mean, I've seen it like where people have gotten jobs. I'm like, bro, you have no business getting that job, but they know somebody that knows
You
somebody,
see?
and they're good at talking. Because, like you said, the technicals you can always learn.
Hmm.
That's something that you can grow. Even if somebody's better than you technically, like those are
Yeah,
things over the years you can develop and you can grow. And
absolutely. Especially if
yeah,
you just work hard.
exactly. Yeah. So if you have that work ethic and you combine that with networking skills, like to me, like you can go really, really
Oh, yeah.
far. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's dope.
I think somebody that I really respect and really value told me that, like, there are people who are half as smart as you in the rooms that you should be in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the only thing your only limit is yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're not putting yourself out there. So
Right.
you need to put yourself out there, quite frankly. I know it is scary
Hmm.
because you think you reach out to people and it's like they might leave you on red. They
Yep.
might say
Yep.
no, whatever. But I think seeing the value in like that's something I kind of learned recently too is just not being afraid to reach out,
Yeah.
not
Yep.
being afraid to have the asks because you just never know
Right.
who would say yes, right?
Yep.
I think it's really important.
Yeah. And then internships. I mean, we for the repeated guests and the followers and whatnot. You guys know we talk about the value of internships. Like
Hmm.
whether you're working for Facebook or some small startup, it doesn't matter. You get the practical experience.
Hmm.
A lot of people are forgetting that from the practicality of it, it's also the fact that you have now real world experience in doing whatever it is, whatever field that you're in. Um, and I think that to me is something that we don't push hard enough. Especially like a lot of podcasters talk about, getting in tech. Like we talk about, oh yeah, making 100,000, 200, whatever it is. Like that's great, but it's like,
Yeah.
okay, how do you get to that? And it's not always just apply to 10,000 jobs. It's like, okay, what if there's a internship that's been vacant for a year? Why don't you fill that? And then, yes, you got to grind. Yes, maybe unpaid, but now you're one step closer to getting that dream job, whatever it is, and breaking into the field. So
Yeah, I think, and you bring up a really valuable point. A lot of people, especially the way these things are marketed, like on TikTok
yeah,
and
yeah,
social media, like being an engineer and doing all these things. You see the people get the free lunch, the free dinner,
yeah,
the
yeah,
company parties, the nap pods. You see all this stuff, and you're like, wow, this is so great. They get caught up in like the prestige
yep,
and the
yep,
hoopla, but everybody forgets like the work that it takes to get there.
yep,
And then also there are going to be days and even some jobs where you feel like, why am I here? What is this all for? Like,
yep,
this isn't great. I remember actually I was talking to somebody, um, and she was basically talking about her experience getting an unpaid internship.
yeah,
And, you know, she was still kind of like, okay, like, why? In her head, she was like, oh, it was unpaid. But the truth is, she was looking for internships. She never had an internship.
yeah,
She didn't even know she was needed to look for internships.
right,
Um, but you know what? She took it and she gained the experience from it. And she was grateful nonetheless.
nice,
Then, next cycle, she applies to another internship. It's a smaller company. She's super grateful. But then this Amazon recruiter actually like reaches out to her, asks, "Hey, we want you to apply for X, Y, and Z."
yeah,
Long story short, she applies. She gets that internship. Now she has that internship on her resume.
yeah,
But it's like you gotta, a lot of people are just looking at the journey and being like, "Oh, she's here,"
yeah,
like, but you're forgetting the steps that it took to even get there, right? And the truth is, um, a lot of these CS jobs, engineering jobs, you can have just as fulfilling a career without all these like big tech things.
right,
But it's easy to like shoot for that obviously because it's there, it's sparkly, it's
true,
nice, it's cool, but not everybody has that and it's okay. I
yeah,
think people just need to like also be okay with that notion as well. I don't know how to say it. It's obviously don't work hard, don't not shoot for that if
right,
that's what you want. But I think a lot of us, myself included, at some point get twisted up in the optics, get twisted up in the, you know, I want this because it looks nice.
right,
Um, but that's not what it's all about. Obviously, if that's what you're about, then
yeah,
that's fine.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
judging you.
right,
But I think if I'm gonna work somewhere, I wanna work somewhere that means something
right,
towards what I'm doing. If I'm working towards something for 8 hours a day, I want it to,
yeah. That's some value. Yeah,
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 like I need it
intrinsically,
to feel like, you know, fulfilling.
right,
I need to feel like I'm working towards something that
yeah,
is, even if it's not benefiting, it's not saving the world, obviously,
right,
but even if it's to the scale of benefiting my family or benefiting or helping me get to the goals that I need to do so I can work on the things that do benefit my community, like,
yeah,
there has to be like a purpose behind it to
yeah.
me, right?
Hey, what up, fam? This is Sar Levy, host of Africans in Tech, where we're building bridges and shaping futures in tech. Just a quick reminder for those who've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. You can catch all of our content, including our whiteboard sessions, where you'll find our full length videos on our channel. And hit that notification bell, fam. All right?